Hello guys, here it's Emmanuel from DiceTuga, and today I want to talk about the games that I played in January 2023 and more in detail about the game that was the biggest surprise for me. By the end of the video I also want to talk about a Kickstarter I almost backed and why in the end, I'm not going to do that, I think. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. January, I played not a lot of games. My time is very limited, so I'm not that kind of guy that has those crazy stats that plays 100 games a month. So you will not see that. But I play some of them. I'm playing a lot of PlayStation 5 as well, and I might come up with some reviews for the games on PS5. Maybe I'll do a video about the games that I played on PS5 in January. Maybe, why not? I think could be interesting as well. But today we are going to talk about board games. January, played Too Many Bones. So, as always, great game. One of my favorites. If you watch my top 10 video, top 10 list of games of all time, you know in which position he is. So yeah, I really enjoy every time playing Too Many Bones. It's just such a great game. Cannot wait for the expansion to come in, the Kickstarter. I'm very excited about it. And finally, I was able to put everything of the box in the trove chest, and it looks gorgeous. So totally recommend it. If you have a friend that has Too Many Bones, again, try it first. But I think you will be positively surprised. Another one is Lord of the Rings, the card game. There's no introduction needed for that game. It's an LCG. It's my favorite LCG from the other three, Marvel and Arkham Horror. So yeah, Lord of the Rings is my favorite theme of all time, and the card game is one that unfortunately I cannot bring it to the table a lot of times because yeah, every time I bring it, I kind of need to get acquainted again with the rules. But every time I play it, I enjoy it. And this month I tried to build different decks just to see, and it's quite interesting. So I think I'm going to continue trying different decks so that I jump into the campaign. So I'm very excited about it. Another game that I played was Neotopia. This is a game that will come out in 2023 normally. It's a game designed by my friend Orlando Sá and André Santos, and it's a pattern building. I talk about this game high level on a TikTok video, I think also on Instagram. And you basically have a board where you have different sections. I don't recall if it is different ecosystems or different towns, but you have different sections on the board. I think there are 3. And you have in the middle kind of a factory that produces resources. And you have also a market with cards that you get. You can get those cards. You need to buy them, I think. And in each card, you have a pattern. Okay, so you have maybe, for example, 2 reds, 2 blues. And so in order to score the points on that card, you will have to be able to put the resources in that pattern in one of those sections. But it's very interesting the way it works because you need to be paying attention to be present on the different areas so that by the end scoring, you don't get you get as much points as you can. So I really like it. I think it will be a medium family game. I think it will be very interesting for a family, and maybe you can do some house ruling to adapt it to your kids. Finally, the other game that I played this month was Woodcraft, and the hype is real, guys. I really enjoyed Woodcraft. It was not my biggest surprise because I was expecting to like it. I really enjoy Praga Caputrenyi, so I was expecting to enjoy this one as well. The surprise in this one was that I think, but I still need to play it more often, both of them, I think I enjoy this one more than Praga. Yeah, shoot me if you want. But I just find that when I'm playing Praga, sometimes, and I only played it twice and solo, so I still need to play it more to come up with a good opinion. But when I played Prague, I felt that there is so many things that you can do and that you want to do that sometimes you lose yourself and might be a bit frustrating. But still, I enjoy really the game, and this mechanism that you have on Praga is great. But with Woodcraft, you can still do a lot of things, but it seems to me more focused. In the end, you are building stuff made of wood. So I really enjoy the different mechanisms on this one. Particularly, I enjoyed the growing of trees. I see it as an investment. So you can plant a tree that through the rounds through the turns that you take will grow, and the more you hold on to those trees, the biggest reward will be by the end when you chop them, because you'll get more wood. I also really enjoyed the cutting of the wood. It's very thematic. Cutting the wood is basically splitting a dice. So you have a dice that is 4. You split it, and you can get 2 dices of 2, 2 dices, 1 of 3, and 1 of 1. So it's really, really cool, and that helps for the different orders that you need to achieve. You get the orders are kind of the goals that you might have, and due to that, you need to change your tactic along the way. You cannot only sit down and do the orders, the initial orders that you get at the beginning of the game. You are going to get more orders along the way to increase your victory points, and you need to adapt to change your strategy at that moment. So really enjoy that. Also, instead of cutting wood, you can glue. So you could glue 2 dices. Of course, to do that, you need a saw or you need some kind of glue. So it's resources that you need to get somehow. But what I really love, and that's the cherry on top of the cake, is the circular saw. It's great. It works. It's amazing how that came out of someone's head. I love it. I really, really love it. Maybe I should make a video of top circular things that exist, because I love the one of Glass Road. I love the one of Prague, and now I love this one. It's ridiculously well done. I love it, because you choose an action, and when you choose that action, you move it to the next quarter, and the actions that stay behind, they increase in bonus. So for example, you have the action and you will have a bonus that goes with it. So you get rewarded by taking an action that is not too much often used. It's just great. So that was one that I really enjoyed to play. I played it only solo, so I'm curious to see how it will work with more players. And yeah, that was Woodcraft. I might consider getting it to my collection. But guys, play it first. Go and test it out. See if you like it, and then get it if you do. That's more and more my way of doing things this year, is to test the game, and if I like it, I buy it. If it's okay, then it stays at the store. So that was Woodcraft. And now to my biggest surprise of January. If you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, you already know which one it is. It's a game that I look up some pictures on BGG and on Google, and I was like, oof, this seems boring. But yeah, after my friend brought it to the board game coffee, and I loved the game. I loved it so much that I bought it myself. So this is Faiyum by Friedman Fries. Such a great game. This is by far the biggest surprise that I had. I was not expecting to like this game so much. The game looked in the pictures quite beige, not cozy or anything, but I couldn't be further away from the truth, because as you can see, it's quite colorful. The board has a lot of colors and kind of gives a cozy feeling playing it. I had a nice feeling into my belly playing this game. And when the games like this, it's the case, for example, of Pessoa, when games like this gives me this feeling, it's always good. So I really felt cozy playing this one, even though it took 3 hours. And one thing that I start to consider when I evaluate if a game is well designed or not is the rulebook. I start to be tired of rulebooks with 30 pages, and I mean, if they are heavy enough to be 30 pages long, okay. But when we are talking about certain games that should be simple and they have 30 pages, kind of like annoys me a bit. Certainly when they have 30 pages rulebook, then you have 20 pages for the annexes, and then you have 10 pages for the quick start guide. So that's a lot of pages, and I tend to fall asleep when I read. So, and Faiyum, I think it's Faiyum that you say, surprisingly, as 1, 2, 3, 4. One of them is to tell you which components come with the game and a brief introduction to the game. The other two explain you how to set up the game. You have 2 for the rules. And here it already explains some of the solo rules and the solo setup of the game. So as you can see, this game has 3 actions, and that's it. Very simple, but very hard to master. And then you have, of course, a glossary that explains you the different cards that you can have. If I approach you to the camera. So you might check the glossary once in a while, because they might have some icons in the cards that you don't understand, and you might have to come to the glossary to have a look, but it's very rare, because the iconography on this game is great. I mean, is top notch. You look at it and you understand. Talking a bit more about the game, like I said, you have 3 different actions that you can do. The first one is to play a card, and each card has a different action. You can place a worker on the board to get a certain kind of resource. You can build a city and so on. You have a second action that is to buy a card from the market. So as you can see here, you have 8 spots where you can where you will have cards that you can buy. 4 of them are going to be blocked during the entire game because you will have to wait for their price to reduce. So more powerful cards will come up, and they will push the weaker ones to make them available for you to buy. Then you will also have the third action, which is the administration phase. It's kind of a phase, not an action, but you can choose to do that. And the administration phase also allows you to maybe get some income, because money is very important as well. You get income by having less cards in your hand than 3. So if you have less than 3 cards, you get the difference in income, which is very rare to happen, certainly by the middle of the game. And you also get income by recovering maximum 2 of the workers. So the workers are limited resources. So if all of us place them all, you cannot do actions where you need to place workers. So it's very good that we can recover them. Otherwise, you are not able to do your actions. Also, I really enjoy that, and this is going to be impacted by the administration phases. In the beginning, you don't have a lot of cards, but by the middle of the game, you might have, for example, 8 cards that are very good for you. But you can only, in the administration phase, recover maximum 6. You can recover 3 for free, but it's only the last 3 that you discarded or that you played, and you can pay for the remaining 3. So that's going to cost you money. And that's it. So it's not like you will have a hand of 15 cards and that you can play all of them and recover all of them. You really need to think ahead on what is the combination of cards that works the best for you, so that you can try to, like I usually say, to take all the juice of the oranges, which are those cards, and that you maximize your victory points. Because in the end, like I said, it's only the victory points that matter. Nothing else matters. And nothing else matters. Yeah, anyway. And so that mechanism of play the cards and recover. Sometimes you're like, ah, don't have enough money to get that card that I need. What do I do? And that's really nice to see that little bit of stress that you might lose that card. So by what I would suggest is that try to get the right cards, which you don't know, but by right cards I mean try to get cards that can work well together and that you can do kind of a combo every single time. You do a combo with those cards, you recover those cards, you do again another combo, you recover. That's how I won my last two games. I was very lucky also about the cards that I got. But yeah, that's how I would do. That's what helped me win the game. So yes, this was a very good surprise. I really enjoyed Faiyum. Friedman Freeze is slowly getting one of my favorite designers. I loved Friday. Again, very simple game to learn, very, very difficult to win. Faiyum, the same thing. And now I wanted to try Findorf. Now I'm very curious. Every game that I see that it's from Friedman Freeze, I want to try it and play it. So that was for my biggest surprise of January. Now, and we will switch to the computer soon in this video, I wanted to talk about a Kickstarter that I might not be backing and why I'm not going to be backing. This is the continuation of the games that I played in January 2023 and the project that I almost backed and didn't because of reasons which I will explain in this video. Like I said in the beginning of the year, I'm now this year trying to control myself a bit more on buying new games and on getting new Kickstarters because I have a lot of Kickstarters coming and I have no space. Euthea, The Witcher, a lot of them, too many bones, and yeah, I don't know where I'm going to put them. And I'm very focused on playing the games that I own already and didn't play yet. And for the Kickstarters, I tend to work a bit more on it. I tend to watch the videos, the playthrough videos, read the rule book. If they have Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator, I try to play the game. I go to Reddit to see people talking about some publishers and the opinion about the publisher. I read the comments of the project page. I check all the details of the page and so on. So there is real work, and that's what I did for Batman Escape from Arkham Asylum. I wanted, really wanted, to back this game. It has a lot of miniatures, but it's miniatures related to Batman, and a lot of them, like you have here, Heath Ledger, the Joker, and you have the Bane from Dark Knight trilogy. I love it. You have Penguin from Batman Returns. You have Catwoman from Batman Returns. And these are all exclusive Gamefound, so they will not come into retail. If we go down here, it's where you see everything that comes in the box. More down, yeah, here. This is what comes in the box. So you get 7 supervillains, which is all right. But yeah, of course, when you see the extra content that you unlock every single day, it gets interesting. Um, if we go back up, we can see the different level of pledges. You have the Henchman pledge, which brings the stretch goals and the core box. Then you have an expansion, and the one that I was very interested was with this one of Batman. Because with Batman Escape from Arkham Asylum, you are playing as a supervillain, trying to escape Arkham Asylum and avoiding, most of the times, Batman. In this expansion, you actually play as Batman fighting the supervillain. So this was the expansion that I was most interested on. And it's the Mastermind Pledge where you can get all of this. And then, of course, you can go even more expensive. You have the Commander Pledge where you can get all the expansions, and the Gotham Lord All-In Pledge where you get all the expansions, all the extra dices, all the dice towers, and so on. So yeah, in terms of price, it's a bit crazy. And then you get these add-ons. Actually, Suicide Squad is a new one. Will it be included in? It doesn't say. So this might not even be included in the 430 pledge. Anyway, it's getting crazy, guys. I get spammed every single day. There's a new stretch goal that is unlocked, which seems a little bit like uninteresting. It's not. I don't know. It's just like it's getting too much. There's just too much, and it becomes overwhelming. But the main things that I checked, and if you see here, we are 2 days left for this to finish. We were at 5 days left, and there was still no rule book available here on the page. Now you can see here, we have the rule book, and you can download it. I have it here. But until then, the only way for you to see the rulebook was going through Tabletop Simulator, and you could see it here, which, I mean, you can decide by yourself, but if I'm playing the game and I have to open the rulebook within Tabletop Simulator, it's a bit annoying, right? So, and talking of annoying, I'm going to show in the rulebook itself. I find this very, very annoying, which is you have the different components of the game, but no image. I don't know what is a venom dose token. I don't know what is a poison ivy plant marker. I don't know. Of course, that if I go to Tabletop Simulator, I can over this and okay, this is the poison token, this is the fear token, but it's extra work, you know. Why this rulebook is not yet ready? For me, it's already a red flag. I don't I don't like when I cannot really trust the rulebook. There's a lot of things here that are very confusing. For example, the movement was something that I didn't really understand and grasp, because when you move a character, a supervillain, to another place, you need to make alert test, which is similar to Nemesis. Actually, this gives me a lot of vibes of Nemesis, which is one of my favorite games of all time. That's why I had interest on this. You need to make an alarm test, and in the alarm test, you need to draw an event card. So I'll pick one here, and I'll flip it. Okay, I need to put it here, otherwise it doesn't work. I'll flip it. There you go. And as you can see, it says there is a lot of things. So this you ignore, this you ignore. You just need to look at this or this. So if you are in a corridor, you need apparently to place a marker in the room glued to this part. But if you are in a room, you need to place a token, an alert token, an alarm token in the room glued to this. But how do I know the direction? For example, it's pointing up. But if I'm here, what is the pointing up? Is it towards here, and then it means I need to place it here, or is it here? What is pointing up? And so maybe that's a dumb question, but that's something that for me was not clear. And I'm sorry, a rule book needs to be understandable by everybody. I'm not saying that I'm not stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. Okay, no problem. But the rule book should be made by for stupid people like me. And maybe I don't understand it. And for me, this was not clear. And another thing that was very confusing as well here on the Tabletop Simulator, but maybe that it's not the fault of the publisher, is that on the rulebook you have something that is called the escape plan. So you have here the escape plan. The escape plan basically is like what is that you need to be able to get to be able to escape Arkham. So you have different rooms that you need to be and make something in those rooms to be able to achieve those goals and maybe escape Arkham. So as you can see, the escape plan has this layout, right? But when you come here, I start looking at here the raft, okay, because this is the one that is in the rulebook. And I start doing the maths, like 4 rooms, and for 3 players, 5 corridors. And then I start looking at this, and this doesn't match. It just doesn't match. And I'm like, but what the hell? And by looking at the Gamefound page is when I discovered that this is also an escape plan, but for the easy mode. And here the numbers match. You have 5 rooms plus one per player and plus the main one, the first one that you get in, plus 6 corridors. Then it matched everything. Why different designs? Why this one needs to be designed this way and this one like this? It's very confusing. Actually, I like the artwork of this and the structure of this. So if they could merge both styles, it would be perfect. But it's just confusing because it's 2 different layouts. So that was also something that made me lost some time because I want to be thorough in the learning of the game and so on, and it was not clear. And so that was it mainly for the tabletop simulator. Also, yeah, this one is funny. You have this one. You see, you can pick it up. So this is the infamy tracker, and with the wheel of your mouse, you can move around this circle, right? But funny thing is that these two, they are not one on top of the other. So even if you pick both, which is already a very difficult task, if I after do this, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And this is very fiddly and very frustrating because I want to play this game, I want to back this game, but this is not giving me the reasons to do so. It's 430 euros. This should be working a bit better, you know. And that's all I have to say about the tabletop simulator. Again, might not be the fault of the publisher, but it's I play a lot of games on Tabletopia. I play a lot of games on BGA, and I never got frustrated with it. And here, it's just fiddly. Then the rule book also, you see that there is some parts where there is images that are still missing. Some things are not. The English is not yet proper, but they said that they are still translating, so it's okay. This gives you an idea of the game, but I cannot. Yeah, it seems that the structure is not the best to teach you the game. You see, there's something missing here. I don't know. I cannot point at it, but there's something missing. Clearly, the images of the tokens are one of them. And then, if we come back to the campaign, is like there's 3 videos. There's 3 videos. Why? Like one of the video is about showing the game, but it's not the clear video that for to sell. It's not the best video to sell this game. I'm sorry. Then you have another one that shows you the models because the content creator of that makes this video is about showing miniatures, so it doesn't really show how the game is played. And then you have another one that is the let's play video that it's two guys that they are playing a game, but you need kind of to know the rules already to be able to follow, you know. And so they are missing with how to play very simple high level video of how to play this game, and that's a pity because you really need to read the entire rule book completely rule book to understand how to play this game. And that was all of that together that really frustrated me because this guy seems to be a Spanish designer or company. There is no VAT, so it's only the shipping that I would have to pay because the VAT is Europe friendly, so that is great. But yeah, uh, it's just not giving me enough trust. And another thing is that there was 10,000 more or less people following this project, and only 2,450 people are backing it. So if you are one of them, let me know in the comments how good this game is because I believe that there is a game in there. It's just not well explained, and I cannot spend 430 euros on a game that the rulebook is not there yet, and that the tabletop simulator is very fiddly. So I would like them to take. I'm not being negative. I'm trying to criticize in the best way possible because that's for me not the way to attract. The miniatures are beautiful and very attractive. I saw the video of the miniatures and they seem to come up quite close to the true of what you see here. Of course, like for example here, Batman Olaf's, maybe you cannot expect to have those small holes in there, but for others, I think it will be achievable, but just not enough. And it's very with very pity that I'm not going to back this. I was very excited when I heard it was coming out because I'm a huge Batman fan. I love the animated series. This gives me a lot of the Batman animated series vibe. I love the Dark Knight trilogy, and so I was like, this is the Batman game that I will have in my collection. In the end, it will not. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you back this one, what you find about this one. If you didn't back, why? What were the reasons? Was it because of anything that I said as well? And yeah, this is a part 2 of the previous video, so I had to split the video because it was too long, and like that you guys choose which one you want to see. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you played in January, what was your biggest surprise, and if you backed any project on Gamefound and Kickstarter. Thank you, guys. See you next time.